We played Shoot, Shag or Marry the other day. Your name came up. It was between you, Nat and Pip. I didn't know who to pick, so I backed out and the fellas called me a little bitch, so thanks for that. I tried marrying Pip, shooting Nat, and shagging you. But I don't think I could cope with sleeping with you just the once, because even though your tits are fucking phenomenal, I don't think it'd be worth what it'd do to our friendship. I mean, it would definitely be worth it, but maybe not in the long run. Plus, Garrett would beat the shit out of me, and even though I reckon in a fair fight I could take him, Garrett's never really fought that fair, has he? Because he's a dick, no offence. And all safety aside, I remember that time in grade 11 when Lachlan banged you and bounced out, how much it affected you. I know at the time I was a bit of a dick about it, and I remember that you slapped me in the face for that. I'm glad you did though, that your sadness moved off of you and turned into anger towards me. Because the truth was that I hated the look on your face when he told me what he did to you. That it felt like he'd taken a piece of you. I pictured you as an island and that he was smuggling conch shells off of your shores. And I never want to imagine you sitting on your sister's carpet, telling about the time I holidayed on your bones, taking pieces like souvenirs that you didn't want me to take. So I thought long and hard about it, because shoot, shag and marry isn't something I take lightly. I thought it was really a bit unfair that the fellas had brought you into the mix, because they know that I basically think of you as a bloke with tits. I guess it also got me thinking about how one day we're all going to end up getting married with kids and whatnot. And you'll probably end up getting back together with Garrett and marrying him, and I'll probably end up marrying some hot Swedish young backpacker / part-time model that I plan on hoping to meet at a youth hostel in Barcelona next year. And I know you don't believe me when I say I'm going, but I really am this time. But yeah, I was thinking about you marrying Garrett and how, if you do, we probably wouldn't be able to hang out so much, because Garrett is a cocksucker. I'm sorry, but he really is. I guess we would come visit you guys in Papua New Guinea, and you guys come visit us in Sweden, because I wouldn't bother sticking around if you're not here. I think that he'd be an alright husband for you though. I know how important culture and heritage and things like that are for you, so I guess he's the one. But I wanted to do something to cheer you up over this whole Garrett thing, to show you that people still care about you even if he doesn't show you that he does. And I didn't want to tell you because I know that whenever I tell you something, it never happens. I spent hours on the computer, writing down recipes, locating ingredients. I went to the Sunshine Coast to buy banana leaves. You can't get them here, not fresh ones anyway. I went to the riverside markets to buy fish every day, until I could get it just right. Because it had to be perfect. See, it was like your story about Lachlan was in the back of my head. And I wanted to show you that some guys don't want to cut pieces out of you. They want to fill them. And if you're going to marry Garrett, I wanted to show you how things should be made for you, so that you have that memory down your spine and can demand perfection from him. The first time I wrapped the fish and rice in the banana leaves, like the YouTube video showed me. It fell apart when I took it out of the fire pit I made in my backyard, but by the 5th time I got it right, I think. And I must have baked 20 yams until they were less like rocks and more like whatever yams should be like. I went to Mum's when she wasn't at home and stole the silverware. And I watched another YouTube video on how to set a table, but I didn't bother with candles because I didn't want you to think of some romantic bullshit. It wasn't like that at all. I asked you over, and you showed up at around 7. And suddenly, with you standing there, burning like exploding galaxies, red African sun setting in the living room of my shitty apartment, I realized I had the heartbeat of a kamikaze pilot, and that it was fucking stupid. That you had grown up in PNG and that I couldn't replicate an entire childhood in 1 week of YouTube tutorials. And that you had to marry Garrett and a white boy best mate only stands in place of a husband when the real thing isn't around. Garrett left you, you said. Garrett didn't want you anymore, you told me. You said that you couldn't even eat. That you're too empty to be filled up. And too full from anger. You said that dinner looked beautiful and that it was really nice of me to do all this for you and that you wished you could enjoy it, but that you couldn't. I told you I understood. And usually I wouldn't understand why you get so upset over Garrett, but this time I did. And I put popcorn in the microwave and we sat down at the couch and watched Seinfeld reruns together. You left around 9. And I was tired of being hungry all the time. So fucking tired of it. So I sat down at the table in front of an empty setting and I ate. The fish tasted like an ocean. The yams were so sweet. I scooped up the rice with pieces of broken up coconut and let it roll along my taste buds. And I pictured your smile, and I ate more fish, and I devoured the yams, and I poured the coconut down my throat until I'd eaten every last crumb of it. And I licked up all the lime juice off the table, and I sat there in front of empty plates, so heavy, stuck in my chair like I'd eaten an entire island. A belly full of you. It was the furthest I'd ever travelled from Brisbane. You once told me to stop staring at globes and to find Place Bomipa, a place that belonged to me. The scary thing was that with a makeshift island behind me, and with popcorn and you on my couch, I felt like I'd already found it. But I'm going to buy those tickets to Barcelona. I really am this time.